Okay, so today I want to be changing my laminate countertop to something that looks a little bit more granite with this stuff that I have bought. Spreadstone countertop finishing kit, because I'm quite tired of looking at the old yellow. It's really bad. It's really from the 70s. So I have everything taped off with plastic and my tape here. That way it's not going to run all over the cabinets that I'm not crazy about anyway. But still, this is kind of a quick fix to something that's really kind of been an eyesore in our family. This is the kids' bathroom. So I've got everything plasticed up. I've watched a few videos and I saw that there's going to be a lot of dust. So that's just the bathroom, a tub part over here that we haven't finished. We started on, we haven't finished it yet. And it needs a little bit of TLC as well. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping a little bit more, cleaning the area, just kind of making sure the countertop's clean so that I can get started. I'll have everything kind of put away and we'll see what happens. I'll return. All right, I'm just sanding down this countertop because you're supposed to sand it down really good so that you don't have any kind of issues with it, lumps or whatever. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm gonna tape up the sinks, and then we should be able to get started with the base coat. So I'm super excited. I'm just doing the hard work now, which is the prep work. And that's just what you're supposed to do. If you don't do it the right way, then you're gonna end up with a product that's gonna be it's gonna be a little substandard. Anyway, so I'm gonna cut it off and I'm just gonna keep sanding. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done doing all the taping I'm going to do. I have sanded the whole entire countertop till it's smooth and flat, and I've got everything out of there that I want to get out of there. That took probably 40 minutes, just because I had a lot of paint on there from doing some previous painting. Anyway, so I'm ready to put on my base coat, and I've got all my materials right down here. Comes with a paint tray, and I think the only thing I needed to get was a mask and maybe something to open the cans with. We're going to be using this Spreadstone base coat. This is your step one. I've got my paint tray right here and my little brush. I actually bought some extra of these little sponge brushes because I saw them at like a $5 store, and I got them just in case I needed something. And I do, because that doesn't come with stir sticks. That's the only thing that it didn't come with. So that, of course, the tape, it didn't come with the tape either. It's got these roller brushes, so I'm going to be able to switch those out whenever I need to. One's going to be for, the base coat, and then one's going to be for the countertop, the step 2, the stone coating, and then the third one's going to be for the clear coating. So there's going to be 2 layers of the base coat that I'm going to put on, and I'm going to have to wash out my brush in between the times that I do that. So that's going to be no problem. So I've got my mask in case things get a little bit crazy. So I'm going to get my gloves on, and I'm going to open up this base coat, and I'm going to stir it for a good while, and then I'll apply it. And so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all real quick about how thick this base coat actually is. So it's really thick. It's the consistency of like custard. And so stirring it is a little bit difficult when you have a shorter stick. So, but that's what I have to work with. And yeah, as soon as I put it in, I'm going to put it on the countertop, and we'll just see how it rolls out. All right, so I've got my base coat. It's in the pan. And I'm going to take my roller, and I'm going to roll it on like the instructions tell me to do. So I just want to show y'all how thick it is and see how it goes down. It's really thick. Like custard or yogurt or, well, I think you get the idea. So, all right. So we're going to start rolling this on. Seems to roll on pretty smooth. I don't know, you probably can't see it. It's kind of like paint. It's like a real thick paint. And so after this first coat, we're going to wait 30 minutes. And then we're going to have to put another coat of base paint on there. Or the base coat. This is such a small area I'm doing. Normally this is something people do with their kitchen. But my kitchen countertops are pleasurable, so I don't want to put any kind of finishing project on them. But this is great if you have laminate countertops, and I think it doesn't even matter where your laminate countertops are. If you don't like laminate and you want to get rid of it, we're gonna try and see if we can do something about it without having to break out the money to get new countertops. I know a lot of people are in a crunch right now with money. Money's tight for everybody, I think. So we try to come up with ways to where we can save a few bucks here and there by doing some things ourselves. So I'm going to finish doing this base coat, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, so we got the first coat of the base paint down, so I'm just checking to see if it's all completely dry. Looks like that's pretty dry. Seems like there's a few little wet spots. There's a wet spot. So I'll give it just a little bit longer, and then we're going to put the second base coat on there, and that's going to stay on there for 2 hours. There's a big wet spot right there. Okay, so we will do that after it dries a little bit longer. All right, I have just got done putting the second coat of base paint on my countertops. And so now I have to let it dry for 1 to 2 hours. And then we can start putting on the real deal, what I'm actually looking for. So anyway, it's wet right now. I'm going to leave the tape on. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but I'll just pull it off later, and I guess I hope for the best. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, so now that we got our countertop with the base coat on it 2 times, it's going to be time to put on the second step, which is the stone coating. So I've already opened the top, and so I just want to look at it with you together. So this is the color I picked out. This is the oyster, which I thought would be kind of light to brighten up the bathroom a little bit. So we're supposed to stir this for quite a little while to get all the stuff up from the bottom. I've rolled the can a few times, making sure to see if we can get some of the goopy goop off the bottom, if you can see that. We need that good goopy goop on our countertop. So I'm just going to keep stirring it and try to get some of that mixed in with the thinner part so that we can spread it good, and we're going to have a good even coat. So it'll do good for our counters, but that's what it looks like. And it's kind of got a paint consistency as well. Actually, the first part that I did, the base coat, was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be real hard to do this project, but every time I open up a can, it seems like I'm seeing things that are going to make it look a little bit easier. And I'm used to painting. I've painted quite a bit in my life, so this is kind of like painting. So anyway, so I'm going to stir this, and right when I get ready to lay it out, then I'll start the video. All right, so here's the stone part of it. I just wanted y'all to see that consistency there. So it's real thick. It almost looks like a thin concrete. If you've ever worked with concrete, you'll know what I'm talking about. But, so that's what it looks like. I'm supposed to get this roller all the way wet, which I'll end up doing. But, so anyway, this came with it. It's a little paintbrush, and we're going to use this to actually get into the, little parts, like behind here and wherever else I need to get. So we're going to do that now. Okay. So here's my paint tray with all the good stuff in it. I'm just going to put a little bit on here. We're going to go ahead and do the parts that are going to be harder to do. So I'm going to just paint some of that on there and just kind of see what that looks like. Then we'll go back and we'll use our roller. Oh, y'all probably can't see this here. Let's see if I can get this. So I'm just kind of painting some of that on there. Getting those parts. It's kind of gritty. Kind of an oatmeal looking thing. Okay, let's see if we can show y'all over here. So I'm gonna get behind this sink. Put some of this right in here. You see what it looks like? Just kind of gritty. Look, it's got some grit in it. So looks like it's going to change the entire look of the countertop though. Put a little bit right there. Okay, I'm going to start rolling some on. Put this paintbrush down. All right. Let's see if I can set this up where you can kind of see what it looks like. So if I can get my roller all condensed in there. Here, let's see if I can get this all wet. It's really not wanting to roll, so we'll just do like that. How about that? Maybe that'll work. Okay. So it says you're supposed to go in like an X. So let's see about just rolling some of that on there. So it looks kind of neat. It's real gritty. It's like nothing I've ever painted on before. Maybe it's like sand paint if you've ever, sand painted a wall. Which I've never done that before either. It's real neat. It's real gritty. I like it. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the rest of this, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like after I get done. Okay, so this is the countertop after the stone, the second step. So it looks pretty good. Now this is absolutely wet, and gotta wait for 1 to 2 hours for it to dry. I think it looks pretty good. It's the first coat. There's gonna have to be another coat, so it's way better than it was. It's hard to kind of see with the tape on there. The tape kind of takes away from the beauty of it. But anyway, it just looks good. Looks like it's got, a rough surface, which it does, and that'll be sanded. It went on really smooth. It went on like, paint would. I did end up not liking as much of the grainy stuff in there. So I would go back over it with the roller and take off some of it because it kind of clumped up in some areas. So I just I got it up and took it out of there from the paintbrush. Kind of scraped it off, but it looks really good. And I also found a dog hair on it, which probably have fallen off my shirt. So if you have it all wet like this is about the time that if you see anything like dog hairs or people hairs or anything that you don't really want stuck to your counter for a long time, then it's the time to get it off. Okay, so I'm gonna go clean my pan now because it's a mess, and get ready for the second coat, and that's going to be in a couple of hours. And so I will see y'all later. Okay, so this is the first coat, and it's dry. Here it is. You can hear all the kids running around downstairs. They're home. So this has been kind of an off and on all day thing. But it looks good. And I'm going to put a second coat on it. And then it needs to dry for 24 hours. And then I'm going to have to do the clear coat, I guess, probably the next day. So anyway, so that's the plan. Anyway, it looks good. I can actually touch it, and it's grainy feeling. All right. So this is a stone coating, the second coat that's already dry. It's really dry. I'll let it have over 24 hours. Or it's more like, 36 hours to dry. Just to make sure that we got in all the little areas, like right here in the back, where stuff kind of like settled in and kind of pulled up a little bit. So I'm going to sand this down now. And I'll probably just try and use a hand, sand it by hand. That way, it's such a small countertop, but I don't know that I could get a big old sander in there anyway. So I'm going to do that for a little bit and see how long that takes me. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to put the clear coat on to finish it up. And then that will have to dry for a little bit. So, anyway, so I'm going to get to sanding. All right, so I've got all my sanding done on the second coat of the stone coating. That probably took me about 45 minutes just because I was trying to reach all the cracks and crevices pretty good. So it's good. It's smoother, and there are some parts, there's quite a bit of parts that seem a little bit, lumpy because of the grain of it. Not so lumpy as, I can't think of a better word, but it's not exactly super smooth. But I think what's going to happen is that clear coat's going to go on, and it's going to make it a lot smoother. But I got it to where I want it. It's all cleaned off. I dusted it. I vacuumed it. Got everything off of there that I wanted to. And I'm about to do the clear coat. So the first, this is step 3. The first layer of this is going to go on, and it's going to stay on for 4 hours according to the directions. So then we'll wait for that to dry and take a look at it. I'm super excited because I can't wait for it to shine anyway, and to be smooth, like super smooth. So I'm going to open up the can. I already pre-opened it actually, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you take the top off. And I did not shake this because it says in the directions, do not shake this can. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It looks a little milky white, so I'm just going to kind of use this and just stir it up, because I think you need to stir it, just not you're just not supposed to shake the can. So just stirring it a little bit, and it's kind of still a milky white color. I don't think that that is going to change. I think that when it hardens on the counter, that it's going to be smooth, and it's not going to look like it's got a milky finish. That's just my prediction. So I also have everything else that I need here. I've got my paint roller. This is the cleanest one I have. The other two that I've used already kind of have some stuff on it from using it the last time. So I've got this one, and it's the cleanest one, and I'm going to use it. Also, my brush, when I used it for the stone coating, it seems to have glitter inside the brush. Just kind of stuck in there. I don't think that that's going to be a problem because it's probably going to mesh in with it. There's not hard particles. It's just like glitter. It's real flaky. It's probably just going to meld in there. So I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to get my gloves and I'm going to get ready to put this on, and I will let you know, or you'll see what it looks like after I put it on. Okay, so the first layer of the clear coat is on. It was easy to spread. And I didn't have a problem thinking it was going to get all over the sinks or anything. It spread really good. So I did end up putting some tape up here because I've got a wall there. I just didn't want it to be glossy. I'm going to come back and caulk. Anyway, I'm going to caulk right over here. And probably around the sinks. There's a spot that I noticed that I did miss over here. I see a little yellow back there. But that's another part that I'm going to caulk as well. So that'll be covered. But anyway, so far, it looks nice and shiny. Of course, it's wet. So I'm going to come back later in about 4 hours and just see what it looks like after that. And put a second coat on there. And that's supposed to cure for 24 hours. And they say light use on it for 7 days because it's going to harden over 7 days. This is not a kitchen countertop, though. This is a bathroom. Nobody's really going to be doing anything with heat or with knives around it. So just basically toothbrushes and soap. So it's going to be light anyway. But it's exciting. So I'm super excited. And I will come back whenever I get done waiting 4 hours. All right, so this is the second application I'm about to put on these countertops. I waited 4.5 hours just because I went and took a nap. I was so tired. Not from doing this, but just from waking up and getting the kids off to school. So anyway, I'm going to put the second coat of this on, and I just want you to see that it feels good. It's shiny. It's this dry right here. So I put the second coat on. I doubt I'm going to put a third on. I'm probably just going to leave it after I do the second coat of this. Because I'm just ready for this project to be just done. And I think it's going to be good anyway. It's going to be nice. I know the kids seem to like it. So let me just see about rolling some of this out to where you can see what it looks like. So I just kind of saturate my brush like so. Okay, and we're just gonna put it on. It's all smooth and wet, as you can see. Still has a little white milky appearance when you put it on, but that goes away. I'm just kind of, a lot of times this stuff will just kind of gob up a little bit and just kind of go right into those cracks and crevices just like you want them. You don't even need to mess with it. It just does. So that's good. I come back with a paintbrush and just kind of thin everything out along the edges. So anyway, I am rolling it out, and so I'm going to wait 24 hours after this is done, and then it's going to be all dry, and then it'll be ready for use. All right, I'll see you after a while. Okay, so this is the countertop when it's actually completely done. It's very hard and sturdy, and it looks way better than it did It's real sturdy. It's good. It's a good countertop. I'm very happy with it. I still have to do some stuff over here and make that pretty up a little bit. But right now I'm going to be focusing on the cabinets. So I've sanded a little bit on the front, on the doors, try to get all the stuff off of there, any paint or dried up toothpaste or anything like that. And I've taken the knobs off, these ugly old knobs that were probably back in the 70s. Anyway, I've got some really cute new knobs that I'm going to show you that I bought for this bathroom. It's going to be really cute. I still have to sand here, so this is part that I have not sanded yet, and so you can see there's like paint right there all over the place. Anyway, so I'm going to sand that down, and then after that I'm going to stain it with the stain. It's a red oak, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to pretty these things up, and I'm going to put my new knobs on there, and then I will show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so I'm here now with my kitty Kayla, and she's real curious about what I'm doing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stain and I'm going to apply it to my cabinets right here that I've sanded down. Got all the junk off that I'm going to get off. They're not the best cabinets. I'm just trying to make them look better than what they are, which is really old. But as I noticed something when I was sanding, I noticed underneath this countertop there's a lot of fuzz. I think this is part of the old countertop. I guess that's what part of it's made of. It's just coming apart. And I noticed that I could just come over here and like pull some of it out like this. What I'm probably going to do is just cap it off. I'm going to find something, some kind of piece of wood or something, and stain it and cap it off with a pretty color. But in the meantime, it's kind of getting in the way of my sanding, and it might make a little bit of mess. So I'm going to pull this off as much as I can before I start staining, and then I'll just stain it, and I'll get to that in just a sec. Okay, so I took off a lot of that junk that was up there. It's like I can't even say, it's kind of stiff. I don't even know what it is. I can't even describe it to you. But I took as much of it as I'm going to be able to get off without scraping. I don't want to scrape it and ruin my countertop that I just put on there. So we'll probably end up having to put a cap on that. But right now, so I'm going to stain. And I got my stain here. And it looks real dark. Looks like chocolate. But it's supposed to be red oak. So I've got my old rag. And I'm going to take it and just kind of dip a little bit in there. Okay, and I'm going to wipe it on there and let's see what color it comes out. It's pretty. It's real pretty. A little bit of stain goes a long way, so you really don't have to use a whole lot. It's going to make a huge difference in this counter. This cabinet, the way it looks. So I'm going to just continue to stain it, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. And then I'm going to put my beautiful knobs on there and just show you how pretty it's going to be. All right, I'm in the middle of staining. And it looks pretty good. It's, you know, these aren't the best counters, they're the best cabinets. And there's flaws, but it looks way better than it did. But I just wanted to show you something that might be helpful to you if you decide you want to stain anything that looks like this. And that has these cracks in here like this. So what I did to fix that problem over here is what I'm going to do over here to these guys. Is I'm going to take a Q-tip. I got some Q-tips right here. I'm just going to put that in there. And then I'm going to apply it in here like this. It's a little bit time consuming. If you get it wet, real good and wet, it'll kind of come on down in there through the cracks. You just got to keep doing that. So I had countertops like this or cabinets like this in my kitchen that I wanted to preserve just because it saved me a lot of money. So this is what I had to do. And that's no problem. And then you just wipe it away. The excess right there. And it looks way better. So anyway, I'm gonna finish doing that and then we'll move on. All right, so I've got these things stained and I'm pretty happy with the way they look. They're, like I said, they're, not the greatest, but they do look way better than they did. Looks like there's a bunch of crap on it. I probably should paint it, but I'm not that big on paint since I'm living in a log home right now. So I'm just gonna kind of keep them the way they are. I'm gonna put these knobs on. I'm gonna show you these in a second. All right, so let me show you what I got. Now, I got these little bear things we're gonna put on for door handles because they're cute. And I wanted to go with the bear theme. I got a really cute shower curtain coming too, but these four are gonna go on these right here. So it look really cute. And I got those on Amazon. But I like the company where these came from. So these are little bears and they're gonna go up to the mirror. There's 3 of them I bought. I had to buy them all separately. They didn't come as one package. So they're pretty expensive. And but I think they're really cute and I'm a real cabin freak and I like cabin things. So there's a bear that's gonna be like standing. Okay, and I got 2 sitting and 1 standing. So there's my other one, he's sitting too. So anyway, the cabinet theme is going to be bears. They come in a nice package and without trying to act like I'm an ad, but, so I got them from Black Forest Decor. I've gotten a lot of things from them and I really like them. And now they gave me a magazine to look through so I can pick out more things that I really like. Oh, look how cute. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna put these on and see how they look. Okay, so here is the bears that I put up here. And I think they're really cute. I love them. I love them. They're my favorite. And then here's the little paws that I have. It's so cute. So I'm gonna have to get lots more bear stuff for the bathroom because I think that's really cute. And that's what it looks like all together. It's a huge difference from what it was. I have before and after pictures. I'm gonna put them side by side. I still have to do the caulking and I'm gonna get that done too, but I just wanted to put on here and show you my little ornamental cabinet knobs. And that's that. I'm so happy.